Welcome everybody, my name is Michael and today we're discussing about XRP, Ripple Laboratories spot ETF, later approved this year, and that's why the price of XRP jumped up more than 60% today. Crazy, especially for those who have been waiting for this moment for many years. I remember it was one of the first cryptocurrencies in 2017 that I made a lot of money on, and I should have held, and then it kept going up, and I should have held, kept going up, should have held. Well, I sold 4 times, and it's probably a good thing that eventually I did sell it all, because I took my profit, that was it. I went back into Bitcoin, and if you held XRP for really these past like 7 years, well, you want to be in a much better spot than you were back in 2017, 2018. So now we're going to see a little bit more growth. Now we're finally getting back to these levels where, okay, there's increased confidence. XRP is being used in more places. It is a wonderful token. It has been supported by a very experienced team. And it's unfortunate that it's been plagued by many issues with the SEC, the government regulation, and that's why the price was held artificially at low levels. Now, is this going to skyrocket to $10 or $20? Probably not, because it would have done this a long time ago. It had the potential to do that. However, maybe in the future, maybe in a couple cycles, who knows? Right now, we're in a great spot. So why is it approaching $4? Well, it's because of the SEC's head, Gary Gensler. His exit is approaching very shortly here. We're going to have a new administration in the presidency, and with that, Gary Gensler is resigning. Obviously, Trump did not like Gary Gensler, and the crypto community did not like Gary Gensler. The crypto community does like Trump because Trump's been in support of cryptocurrency, at least this past year, and we're excited to see what's going to happen with the new president and any crypto regulation. Is it going to get tighter in some states? Is it going to get better? Well, that's the thing. Depending on where the pendulum swings, cryptocurrency, we may see Bitcoin hit 150, or we may see it fall back down. And with that, all the other altcoins are going to follow suit. Closer to $3. So right now, XRP is at $2.54. Today's high was $2.56. Over the past month, we were a little higher, $2.72. And over the past year, really, it was like 2 months ago, whatnot, we hit $2.86. So the all-time high we've ever had was $3.84, almost $4. And that was in 2018. That was right at the very cusp of 2018. It was approaching already. It went from like 25 cents in December 2017 to right in January, approximately where we're at right now. Today's the 13th, going on to the 14th. On the 15th already, it started dropping. So on the 15th, it was already at $1.68. And that was dropping because on January 3rd, we hit $3.11, and January 4th was the all-time high of $3.84. So we slid back down, and shortly after, in February, we were already below $1. And we weren't able to recover since, until now, hopefully. Because we're close. We're getting towards the $4. We haven't hit $3 territory yet, but it is certainly possible we may have a new all-time high, depending on how high Bitcoin goes and all these altcoins and the hype. However, one investor is claiming it's best to be on the sidelines, and I do generally agree with him for a couple reasons. One of his main points with XRP, he's a Bitcoin supporter, not so much a supporter of XRP right now. His belief is that XRP's rise is mainly, a lot of people supporting XRP want financial institutions, banks, large companies to use and adopt the technology needed to incorporate XRP into its network. However, they'd have to purchase large amounts of XRP, and the main downside to that is these billion-dollar institutions don't like to hold a lot of money in something that is super volatile. So in order to transact on the network, they need XRP. However, and in theory, it's great because they need to purchase XRP. That's going to drive up demand and value. But the issue is the banks don't really need to use XRP to benefit from its network. They can use other currencies. And they're probably going to use other currency because they're pretty hesitant to hold a huge swath of XRP. Most of the value for XRP comes from the fact that financial transactions are supposed to be faster, but there's other cryptocurrency projects that have been worked on since 2018, and there's now multiple projects which promote faster transactions and cheaper transactions, because come on, let's be real, banking wires and some of these ACH transfers and confirmations taking 2 to 5 business days is absolutely crazy. And sometimes you have a check deposit, and the banks can hold it hostage for 10 to 14 business days. I've had that happen, even with government checks, which that's not supposed to happen, but we've had that happen with an IRS check. So there's a lot of value for any cryptocurrency that promotes faster, cheaper transactions than Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is pretty slow when you compare it to a lot of other assets. Way faster than the banking world. The banking world is slow on purpose. It could be within seconds if they really wanted to, but they designed it to be slow on purpose and expensive. It's big business for them. It's designed to be adopted across the industry, and the annual revenue from the transactions would just be a small fraction of the $193 billion that was generated in approximately 2023. It's growing, but let's say it grows to $200 billion and you take 10, 15, 20% of that, that's nothing compared to XRP's current market cap, which is already approaching $150 billion. Right now, with everything all together, I mean, we're looking at a total volume over the past 24 hours just from one source, XRP, pairing with USDT of over 1.2 billion. Just that by itself is huge. And when you take a look at the total market cap, 147 billion, almost 150. We are looking at an asset that is disconnected from its inherited value, which we've seen that with Amazon, we've seen that with Apple, we've seen that with Facebook and a lot of these giant corporations, and that's fine. You have the stock price and you have the actual value of the company and what their assets and whole business is regarding. And usually it is disconnected, and that's generally how the markets have been for a little bit. But you have to look at how much room is there for this asset to grow. For XRP, maybe not as much as Bitcoin, and that's why it has been in the standstill for the past 8 years now. Now, the SEC battle is still not fully done. You are going to get a new chair that is supposed to be more crypto friendly, but the SEC has the right to appeal. If the SEC is indeed going to confirm that it's not pursuing an appeal, XRP's price will definitely rise. Probably we'll hit past $4. We're going to have a new craziness happening. And also with JP Morgan Chase looking at an $8 billion potential for this XRP spot ETF, anywhere from $3 to $8 billion is huge. ETF assets currently account for 8% of Bitcoin's total market cap, which is over $1.81 trillion. Ethereum's ETFs have a much lower penetration rate of 3%, but it's still pretty good, especially when we're talking about hundreds of billions. JP Morgan also expects Solana ETFs to do very well, and there's a lot of hype regarding Solana recently, so it might even perform better than Ethereum. XRP will probably be next in line. Nothing hard yet, but a lot of analysts are suspecting that's probably where they're predicting a spot ETF would end up getting approved this year. There's a high probability of that. Polymarket right now is betting for it, where 59% of users believe there's a chance of an XRP ETF being approved later this year. There's a 50% chance of it getting approved by July 31st. And Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse has repeatedly spoken about the inevitability of XRP ETF approval in the United States, which would, again, pump its price, probably a new ATH. If we hit $5, that'd be great. Are we hitting $10? Probably not. All we know for right now is the SEC chair, Gary Gensler, is stepping down next week. There's going to be a new administration, and we're going to see a lot of new changes for sure. And in other news, I actually got my tickets. I had received an email that if I was in Washington, D.C. For a time for the inauguration, I would be able to collect my tickets, but I don't want to stand out in the cold after doing further research, because I've never been to an inauguration. Now I guess I'm old enough where I thought, like, hey, that'd be kind of cool, you'd witness history, but really you'd be standing out in the cold for like 12 hours, and I'm not doing that. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and take care.